Morning, everyone. Before anything else, I would like to congratulate and give my sincerest thanks to President Victor Cañeso and the BIPSU Futures team led by Mr. Jadel Peñaranda. Thank you for hosting the first Eastern Visayas Youth for the Futures Forum. This gathering is a testament to the power and potential of youth in shaping our collective futures. I'm happy to be a part of this important gathering and truly look forward to engaging with you as we explore the possibilities and challenges that lie ahead. I am Shemon Cruz, currently the UNESCO Chair on Anticipatory Governance and Regenerative Cities at the Northwestern University and Chief Futurist of the Center for Engaged Foresight. It is an honor to be with you today. And as you can see in this deck, I'm also a songwriter and a PhD candidate in Human Society and Foresight at the School of Law and Society at the University of the Sunshine Coast in Australia. So let me jump in. When you think about your future, do you find yourself mostly feeling worried or optimistic? Consider the various aspects of your life, such as your career, personal growth, relationships, and the broader social and environmental context. What are the specific factors or experiences that contribute to your feelings of worry or optimism? How do you actually navigate these emotions? And what steps do you take to foster a positive outlook or address your concerns? How much control or influence do you personally feel you have in determining your future? Reflect on the various aspects of your life, including your career choices, personal development, relationships, and again, the broader social and environmental factors. What actions or decisions have you made that demonstrate your ability to shape your future? Conversely, what external factors do you believe significantly impact your future that are beyond your control? How do you balance your efforts to influence your future with the realities of external constraints? As we discuss and envision our future, I want you to remember some foundational assumptions and learnings that I have as a futurist for almost 2 decades of scholarship and practice. I think that this is crucial, or it is crucial to acknowledge these assumptions to understand the nature and essence of foresight. 1, the future is speculative. The future is uncertain and highly unpredictable. Making any attempt to foresee it is inherently speculative. Our projections that we have about the future today are based on current knowledge and trends, but unforeseen factors can significantly alter the outcomes of the future that we all envision. All predictions are inherently unreliable. Predictions about the future are based, as I've said, currently on available data and models, which are limited by the assumptions that we make about the future, given the fact that future events are unpredictable. As such, no prediction can be guaranteed to be accurate. Third, events can lead to wildly different outcomes. The occurrence of unexpected events can drastically change the course of future developments. Small changes or unforeseen occurrences can have significant impacts, leading to outcomes that differ greatly from our initial assumptions or predictions. And I think this is very important that you need to take note of. The truth is subjective and context dependent. Truth is influenced by individual perspectives, cultural backgrounds, and situational context. What is considered true in one context may not hold in another, highlighting the variability and subjectivity of truth. And so is the future. Now, making predictions and planning for the future involves ethical considerations. The implications of our foresight can affect individuals and communities, our institutions, our nations, necessitating a responsible and ethical approach to avoid harm and promote fairness, especially for future generations. The truth about the future is only momentarily true. Our understanding of the future is constantly evolving as new information and insights emerge. What we believe to be true about the future today at one moment may change, reflecting on the transient nature of our knowledge and the assumptions that we make about the future. Now, there are certain enduring human needs and societal values that remain constant over time, such as the desire for connection, security, and purpose, as well as the importance of family, education, and justice. These constants shape our societies profoundly. However, when we talk about megatrends, we refer to large-scale, long-term changes that significantly impact global societies and local economies. Examples of megatrends include technological advancements, demographic shifts, urbanization, climate change, globalization, shifts in economic power, health and wellness trends, and evolving social and cultural norms. These megatrends persist over decades, influencing and reshaping our world in profound and lasting ways. There are several things and values in the world that will never change. They will remain the same as ever, and sometimes we call them megatrends. Now, but then there are absurd ideas that enters our horizons of consciousness, and futurists and foresight practitioners refer to them as weak signals. Initially, these weak signals are those signals that we disown because these ideas seem to be improbable or far-fetched. However, these ideas are often what we call emerging issues. They represent the early indicators of change, of potential significant shifts in society, technology, or other domains. Though they might appear insignificant or unlikely useless at first, these weak signals could emerge as your tsunamis of change. They can develop into major trends or that they become disruptive over time, fundamentally altering the way we see our world. Albert Einstein once said, "If at first the idea is absurd, then there is no hope for it." This suggests that truly groundbreaking ideas of the future often appear unrealistic when they are first introduced. Innovative concepts that have the potential to drive significant change and progress usually challenge conventional thinking in the status quo, and thus they are unacceptable in the present. These ideas that might seem absurd initially because they go beyond the limits of our current understanding and expectation about what is real is precisely what makes them unconventional by nature. And when they are unconventional by nature, they hold the promise of one day becoming impactfully transformative. So embracing and exploring seemingly absurd ideas can lead to breakthroughs and advancement that reshape our world in profound ways. And that is futures thinking. Also, Jim Dater wrote this in his second law of the future, said that any useful idea about the future should appear to be ridiculous. This statement highlights the notion that truly valuable and innovative ideas about the future often defy current logic and expectations. If an idea about the future seems ridiculous at first glance, it challenges the status quo and encourages us to think beyond the boundaries of our existing mental models and frameworks. These seemingly ideas can prompt new ways of thinking and spark creativity, leading to breakthroughs that more conventional ideas might not achieve. Embracing these unconventional ideas is crucial for exploring a wide range of possibilities and preparing for a future that is inherently uncertain and full of potential surprises. Now, critical futures research is a field that is dedicated to exploring a wide spectrum of potential futures, ranging from the seemingly preposterous to the possible and preferable. This approach involves examining ideas and scenarios that might initially appear absurd or far-fetched, as this can often provide valuable insights into new possibilities and challenges. By studying preposterous futures, researchers can push the boundaries of conventional thinking, uncovering innovative solutions and preparing for unexpected developments. In addition to the preposterous, critical futures research also focuses on possible futures, scenarios that could realistically occur based on current trends and data. This, however, involves rigorous analysis and modeling to anticipate a range of outcomes, helping societies to understand and prepare for various potential trajectories. Critical future research emphasizes as well preferable futures, which are the desired outcomes based on our collective aspirations, goals, and values. This aspect involves envisioning and planning for futures that align with our ethical principles, sustainability, and the overall well-being, for example, of a university, a community, a province, a nation, or a planet. Furthermore, critical futures research incorporates the study of epistemology and ontology. Epistemology is the study of knowledge that examines the nature, sources, and limitations of what we know about the future. This involves questioning how we gather information, the validity of our assumptions, and the frameworks we use to understand potential futures. Ontology, which is the study of being, explores the nature of reality and existence, helping us to understand the fundamental structures of potential futures in the different ways they might manifest. We must ask ourselves the question, why do I perceive the future as such and not as this or that? So the study of ontology and epistemology gives us an opportunity to unpack and question the nature and essence of knowledge and truth, and so are our ways of knowing the future. So by integrating these dimensions, the preposterous, possible, and preferable futures, along with epistemological and ontological perspectives, critical futures research provides a comprehensive framework for understanding and shaping the future. It encourages innovative thinking, robust analysis, and proactive planning to navigate the complexities of an uncertain world, while also examining the nature of our knowledge and the reality of our potential futures. Now, this is a framework that I have developed and have been using in the last, for almost 2 decades of my practice. And I call it the Engaged Foresight approach. So the Engaged Foresight process is a comprehensive approach to exploring and shaping the future. This process involves several key phases, each designed to foster a deep understanding of potential futures and to inform decision-making. A critical component of this process, which I would like to focus on today in this keynote, is the questioning and discovering phase, which enables us to frame an issue, idea, or policy within a future's context. In the questioning and discovering phase, the focus is on asking insightful and probing questions. You want to do a critical features research, the first thing that you need to actually pursue is to invest and immerse yourself in asking the most insightful, the most compelling question that will enable you to uncover some underlying assumptions, drivers, and uncertainties related to a particular issue or idea. So the questioning and discovering phase involves, one, identify your key questions. Formulating questions that challenges existing perspectives and exploring alternative futures are designed to open up new avenues of thinking and to help enable you to reveal the hidden dynamics that might influence future outcomes. The first thing that you need to do is to identify the key questions. Now, once you've identified the key questions, explore assumptions. Examining the assumptions that underpin the current beliefs that informs why you are asking these questions in the first place enables you to question the validity of your assumptions and consider how they might change in different future scenarios. So the second thing that you need to take note of is, after identifying your key questions, is to explore assumptions. Now, once you have these assumptions that enables you to spot the current beliefs and practices that informs you why you've asked the questions in the first place, is I think you are now prepared to gather diverse perspectives. So how do you actually gather diverse perspectives? You have to engage with a wide range of stakeholders and sources of knowledge to gain a holistic understanding of your issue. Why? Because this helps you to ensure that the process is inclusive and that multiple viewpoints are considered. Third is for you to gather the diverse perspectives, and then you scan for the signals of change. So you don't only scan for the megatrends, you in fact actually scan by identifying the weak signals or emerging issues that might indicate significant future changes. So this involves looking beyond your trends or the obvious trends, but detect the subtle hints or signs of potential disruptions or opportunities. Once you've scanned those weak signals and analyze what the implications of your megatrends, that will enable you to actually frame the issue from a future context. So using the insights gained from questioning and discovering to frame the issue, idea, or policy within a future's context involve, one, defining the scope of inquiry, identifying the key variables, and articulating the possible implications of this for the future. So by focusing on these elements, the questioning and discovering phase helps you to build a robust foundation for your foresight project, which I would call the Engage Foresight project. So it ensures the subsequent phases, such as scenario development, strategy formulation, and action planning, are grounded in a thorough understanding of the questions that you wish to ask that are seemingly really compelling to you. And that will enable you to actually better understand the complexities and the possibilities of the future. So, to develop your questioning and discovering competencies in the field of foresight, one needs to cultivate a diverse set of skill sets. You want to improve your ability to question and discover. It means that you need to build competencies that enables you to actually apply these things in the field of foresight. So I'm going to give you an overview of the skill sets required for each competency. But I'm just going to, at least for this talk or speech, focus on the questioning and discovering phase. One, So what are the critical skill sets that you need to develop in order for you to develop the competency to question the future? One is critical thinking. Critical thinking is the ability to analyze and evaluate information objectively and systematically. Another skill set is curiosity. You need to develop that natural desire to learn and explore new ideas and perspectives. Read books, articles, papers, listen to conversations such as this. Third, competency is analytical skills. You need to develop your ability to break down complex information into manageable parts and understand its components. Communication skills. You need to develop that ability to articulate your questions and engage others in a meaningful dialogue. Open-mindedness, or the willingness to consider and respect different viewpoints and ideas that enables you, among others that I just mentioned, the competency to actually question the future. And last but not the least is problem-solving capacity. Do you have the capacity to identify, define, and resolve problems? So again, just to enumerate, the competencies you need to build in order for you to increase your ability or your capability to question the future is that you need to develop these critical skill sets, such as critical thinking, curiosity, analytical skills, communication skills, open-mindedness, and problem solving. Now, discovery. What are the competencies that you need to develop in order for you to enhance, strengthen your ability to discover things, to discover the knowable or unknowable futures, if I may. One is horizon scanning. You need to practice that ability of systematically collecting and analyzing information about trends, signals, and changes in the external environment. Trend analysis. You need to develop that ability to recognize and interpret patterns and trends over time. Of course, it goes without saying it, research skills. You need to have that proficiency in gathering, analyzing, and synthesizing data from various sources. Systems thinking. The ability to understand and analyze complex systems and their interrelationship. The capacity to generate original ideas, out of conventional frameworks, which is, of course, creativity as another skill set for you to increase your ability to discover. And pattern recognition is also important, right? Or the ability to identify patterns and anomalies in data and information. Last but not the least, collaboration and networking. You need to develop that ability to work with diverse groups of people and build networks to gather a wide range of perspectives. So with that in mind, let me just share with you, this result of the recent scanning that I did as far as the megatrends that might or will likely influence global youth futures in the immediate future. As we look towards the future, several megatrends such as this will continually shape the global landscape. So again, just to repeat it, megatrends are your large-scale, long-term changes that significantly impact societies, economies, and the environment. Understanding these megatrends is crucial for anticipating future challenges for critical futures research to identify the risk and opportunities. So I would say here are some of the most influential megatrends that will likely influence youth futures at the global level. I'm not going to discuss them, but you might probably want to, in your research, pursue these megatrends. Artificial intelligence and automation, digital connectivity, global warming, sustainable practices, aging populations, urbanization, the gig economy, globalization, diversity and inclusion, changing family structures, political engagement, mental health awareness, healthcare access, lifelong learning, and access to education. These are your mega trends that are continually shaping the future of global youth futures around the world, or global youth futures. Now, what might disrupt our framing about global youth futures? Now, what are the weak signals of change? What are the subtle hints of a potential significant shift or emerging trends that may impact the future of youth at the global level? These signals often appear on the fringes of current awareness, and they may seem insignificant or unrelated at first glance. However, they can provide valuable insights into upcoming changes and help you as critical futures researchers, including the university, the policymakers that you collaborate with, and the individuals, anticipate and prepare for future developments. So let me just mention them, but we'll not necessarily discuss them one by one. Digital detox and skepticism, climate activism and eco-anxiety, alternative education models, mental health awareness and peer support, gig economy and freelance work, global citizenship and mobility, cryptocurrencies and digital finance, do-it-yourself culture and entrepreneurship, virtual and augmented reality, political and social activism, sustainable living and minimalism, social media detox and authenticity, mindfulness and spiritual exploration, post-gender and fluid identities, hyper-personalization, transhumanism and human augmentation, tech-enhanced creativity, climate migration, nanodegrees, biohacking, and personal health optimization. So these are the emerging issues of change that might influence youth futures at the global level. Now, as far as my practice is concerned, I do subscribe and use 4 approaches to foresight that I love using. And here they are: questioning approach, the gaming approach, the approach or the traditional approach to using tools and methods, and science fiction. Again, as an approach to foresight, questioning involves critically examining our assumptions, exploring new perspectives, and challenging the status quo to uncover deeper insights about the future. Now, gaming uses interactive and immersive experiences to explore future scenarios and dynamics, allowing participants to experiment with different strategies and outcomes in a simulated environment. While tools and methods, which is pretty quite, the traditional approach, it refers to these systematic techniques, and analytical frameworks that we use to explore, analyze, and interpret potential futures, which is primarily the domain of the academia. And last but not the least, science fiction uses imaginative storytelling to envision and explore future possibilities, often pushing the boundaries of our current understanding of what's possible, and particularly about technology. Now, so we can scan and discover some preposterous futures by questioning it. So I'm going to show you an approach to questioning and discovering phase of the engaged foresight approach. So if I'm going to question the future now, I would use, the megatrends and the weak signals to developing, constructing probably the most, compelling questions that I would like to do as far as my futures research project is concerned. So I'm going to show you some examples. Like, for example, this one, how might the widespread adoption of VR and AR in education and social interactions reshape the learning experiences and social dynamics of the youth? I am literally asking the question on how AR and VR integration in education or usage or utilization, if they become normal in the way we teach and learn, would these experiences alter the social dynamics of the youth? What impact could decentralized social media platforms have on youth privacy, digital behavior, and social activism? You might want to look into the idea of what a few group of people would call decentralized social media platforms, right? Like Facebook is a centralized social media platform, but then a decentralized social media platform is an alternative to the current social media that we're using today. So in what ways could youth-led environmental movements drive policy changes in innovation in green technology over the next decade? How might increasing awareness of microplastic pollution influence consumer behavior and regulatory frameworks affecting youth health and lifestyle choices? What are the potential societal and policy implications of increasing acceptance and exploration of fluid identities among youth? How could the normalization of remote work and the gig economy or gig economy jobs affect youth's career expectations, job market participation, and work-life balance? In what ways might alternative education models such as online learning and boot camps, nano degrees, reshape traditional education systems and youth's preparedness for future job markets? What are the implications of a growing emphasis on digital citizenship for youth's engagement with technology, digital literacy, and online community participation? How might increased interest and investment in space exploration inspire new educational programs and career paths for youth in science and technology fields? These are some of the questions that might emerge when you start questioning the future. So via the engaged foresight approach, it enables you to actually do just this by exploring, asking ourselves, really, what are the most critical, compelling questions if I'm going to ask some research questions right now pertaining to the exploration of a global youth future, or it could be local as well, or it could be a combination of both. So what I'm trying to say here is that one approach to foresight is really by questioning our assumptions about the future. And most of the assumptions that we currently have today are informed by megatrends. And what if they are not informed by megatrends and we embark from scanning, the weak signals of change and embarking from that, ask probably the most compelling questions. So why do we want to question our assumption of the future? Because questioning breeds curiosity, and questioning triggers and allows our imagination to fly. So another approach is, of course, the dream foresight game. So here is a game that I invented in 2019, and that currently is a game that I love playing. And the Dreams and Disruption game is a dynamic foresight and imagination platform. It's designed to stimulate creativity, challenge your assumptions, and encourage thinking beyond the present. So the game is not just for entertainment. It serves as a tool for learning and scenario generation. It's been used by visionary thinkers, futurists, and you can actually use it if you're curious about future possibilities. In fact, you can use the Dreams and Disruption game as a research methodology as well. In fact, for my dissertation here in Australia, I'm using the Dreams and Disruption game as my research method to explore the future of cities in the Philippines. So here are some key aspects of the Dreams and Disruptions game. It's a scenario building game. The game emphasizes inclusivity and diversity of voices. It is an award-winning game. It has been recognized by the Association of Professional Futurists with the prestigious IF Awards for its innovative approach to futures literacy and strategic foresight. And the game can be used as a method for interactive workshops to engage your participants in an immersive, intellectually stimulating environment. Now, as you can see here, these are some of the images wherein teachers, faculty members, and foresight enthusiasts using the Dreams and Disruptions game to democratize access to futures literacy. It doesn't have to be academic, but you can actually play foresight. And this game has been played 200 plus times all over the world. And probably around 7,000 people have already played this game. So, and then, of course, as you can see here, this is a modified approach to playing the Dreams and Disruptions game. So I modified it in a sense that enables like around 500 students to share their visions of the future by playing the Dreams and Disruption game. And we modified it into a what if game approach, right? So you draw a card, whatever card that you draw, you used some generic prompt questions to explore the future of the card that you've drawn from the Dreams and Disruptions game. Now, instead of exploring this textually or narratively, we ask the students to actually create images of the future that they envision by asking the what if questions drawn from the card. So in this exercise, it was attended by like around 500 students at Northwestern University. They were divided into groups of 5 and 7, and they were able to generate like around 50 scenarios of the future. And now they plan to develop artifacts and prototypes and build these prototypes and display it in an exhibit that they will showcase during the school's University Foundation Day, celebrating 100 years of Northwestern University next year. And of course, the game has been played also as well by professionals, young professionals, and experts all around the world. And it prompted them to actually think about some unthought of futures. So including my clients, corporate and public, and that gave them a lot of ideas. Really, in fact, you can use the Dreams and Disruption game as a critical futures research generator as well, right? So by combining the different types of cards, you can use it to facilitate conversations about potential futures research and help you build your futures research agenda. So if you do this, let me know. We can actually document that and publish it as an approach. So I would like to share with you some of the students' imaginings about the future by using the Dreams and Disruptions game. So dreams of the seamless integration, the Hollow World Society. So the Hollow World Society is where education becomes a fully immersive experience, where students can virtually attend historical events, conduct scientific experiments in space, or walk through ancient civilization, all from their living rooms, not your traditional classrooms. That your classrooms will be your living rooms, and the living rooms replace traditional classrooms with virtual learning environments tailored to individual learning styles and paces. So this is just a snapshot of one of the students, participants that attended the Dreams and Disruptions game. Another is, this dream of radical inclusion, or the identity fluid world. So in this world, you'd participate in the so-called identity festivals, where they explore and celebrate different facets of their identities through art, music, and storytelling. This goes beyond the idea of gender, but it is entirely focused on identity. Schools and workplaces adopt flexible policies that support identity expressions and eliminate discrimination. So in the context of identity, it doesn't matter whether you're male, female, or binary, or what, right? So it doesn't matter in this alternative future world, because what matters really is your identity. Now, another example is the dream of enhanced humanity through or the bio-enhanced generation world. So schools and universities offer courses on ethical biohacking in this world, and youth regularly undergo enhancement to boost learning, athletic performance, and creativity. So health and wellness become central to education with a focus on optimizing the human experience. And another example is the dream of universal connectivity, or what they call the global village. So in this future, global youth councils, facilitated by AI-driven translation and communication tools, make decisions on international issues such as climate change, human rights, and technological development. These youth councils, digital youth councils, would have significant influence on global policies and governance. Another dream is dream of interstellar exploration, the Mars generation. So here, schools include space colonization modules in their curriculum, and students participate in virtual simulations and real-time experiments to prepare for life on Mars. The first generation of Martian youth pioneers new ways of living and cooperating in a challenging environment. And last but not the least, dreams of digital democracy, the empowered electorate. Youth councils and digital referendums become common, with young people directly shaping policies that affect their futures. Wala nang sangguniang kabataan dito. So political campaigns and decision-making processes are conducted on social media platforms, making politics more accessible and engaging. So those are the examples of dreams that young people were able to construct by using the dreams and disruption games in the context of provocation or provocative ideas. So I'm just going to quickly discuss this, but we'll not labor too much on this. We all know this. These are the types of capacity building already that you have undergone and continue to do at the university. Is the traditional approach to foresight, which is the use of tools and methods, really, particularly in learning and research. So, but I would like to show you this, though. This is the tools and methods that I have included if you wish to introduce foresight to young students or to the younger population. It doesn't have to be an expert-driven approach or an academia-driven approach. You can actually change it, but then of course, ensuring that the process has integrity and that it could enable you to derive, provocation and to challenge the status quo, which is, of course, you can do that by, the phase one is undefining the future, which is also really similar to the idea of questioning the future, but you can do it through semantic analysis, the Rieff Van Winkle exercise, the inspect plus analysis, and the shared history approach. Those are some tools and methods that you can actually learn and use. Another one is anticipating emergence, which is, of course, the focus really is on weak signals, and which, of course, many games here that I've included in this central hub, I would say, like Think from the Future game, Dreams and Disruptions, Causal layered analysis, features wheeling, and weak signals. And then, of course, for the phase wherein you create meaningful strategies and build speculative prototypes, you can use serious play, creative visualization, sandboxing, moonshot, and backcasting. And of course, last but not the least is, of course, you need to consolidate all the insights in the 3 different phases in order for you to build really a scenario that enables people to develop a relationship with the future and become intimate with it. Because when we become intimate with the future, it enables the body to actually move through future's work. Without developing this some sort of intimacy, the future that we all build will remain as such. And what is really essential is that we must learn how to prioritize and use some other methodologies that if you want to create action from the insights that you generated, is that you can also study this eco-cycle planning approach. But then, bottom line here is that, we must be able to build some sort of a practice that highlights intimacy in order for us to build, a personal relationship with the future. And that could be done by decolonizing your approach, really. That can be done by using your own local language to facilitate the future, among other, elements that are we've learned over by studying indigenous ways of perceiving the future. So, okay, of course, last but not the least, I just would like to mention this is science fiction. So science fiction in foresight is a powerful tool that leverages the imaginative and speculative nature of science fiction to explore potential futures, challenges current assumptions, and stimulate creative thinking, creative and innovative thinking. So I would like to show you some selections, or classic and influential scientific works, each of which has had a significant impact on the field of foresight and speculative thinking. These books and films explore futuristic concepts and themes that have inspired both scientific innovation and societal reflection. Like, for example, you have H.G. Wells' World Brain. The World Brain book of H.G. Wells explores ideas about a global network of knowledge, presaging concepts similar to the modern internet. The War of the Worlds, a pioneering work in the alien invention genre, examining human resilience and societal reaction to extraterrestrial threats. The Time Machine introduces the concept of time travel and reflects on social and evolutionary futures. The First Man in the Moon, an early exploration of space travel and contact with alien species. Of course, you also have Isaac Asimov, a book, Robot Visions. This is a collection of stories and essays that delve into the possibilities and ethical implications of robotics and artificial intelligence. Foundation, I really love this book. It is a seminal series that explores the rise and fall of civilizations through the lens of mathematical sociology and future history. And of course, we have the Space Odyssey, Minority Report, a dystopian narrative about pre-crime and predictive policing adapted into a film starring Tom Cruise. And of course, I think you have to read this book by Kim Stanley Robinson, The Ministry for the Future, Green Mars. So science fiction explored different themes, from technology to innovation, societal change, environmental and planetary futures, human condition and evolution. And I would say science fiction are essential reading for anyone who are really interested in foresight and speculative fiction, as they provide a rich source of ideas and inspiration for imagining and preparing for possible future. Now, I'd like to end my part by spotting the game changers. And you can actually spot the game changers through questioning, through games, through the features, tools, and methods, and especially science fiction. I would love to share some game changers that we've spotted over the years in partnership with some other stakeholders and clients. But I would just like to end my talk by remembering Aristotle, who once said and asked this question: how thick is the present? He said that the present is just a limit between the past and the future. Now, this question and premise by Aristotle invites us to reflect on the nature of time and our place within it. Now, while the present may seem to lack substantial thickness or duration, it is critical. It is a critical and dynamic boundary that connects our experiences of the past with our anticipations about the future. So understanding this concept of how thick really is the present can deepen our appreciation of how our lives are immediate, or the immediacy of life and the continuous flow of time. The present moment is merely a conceptual boundary without actual duration. What we call the present today is an infinitely thin line that separates the past from the future. How thick really is the present? How thick really is your present? You know? So you try to reflect on that, and you know, it could mean a lot of things. It enables you to really like reflect how important the present is. And that is why, you know, Richard Slaughter, you know, who's an Australian futurist, once said that the future is in fact the principle for present action. Again, I always say this, the future may all be kind to us. Maraming salamat po.